We all want to get married. We want to marry the man we really love, the man who will make us go wild and build a better relationship and friendship forever. But there are certain kinds of men, if you marry them, you'll be so miserable. In this video, I will show you about 7 types of men you should never marry in your life. 1. An abusive man. If you marry a man who is very abusive, you will really regret in your life. If you marry a man who verbally insults you, any little thing, he will just insult you. Any small thing, he will just burst out and say unkind words to you. If you marry such a man, you will regret it. If you marry a man who physically abuses you too, you will really regret it, because he is going to make you a punching bag and your life will be very miserable. If you are courting a man and you realize or you see some traces of being abusive, stop that relationship. Don't marry him. 2. Never marry an over-possessive man. If you marry such a man, you will never be happy in your life. He will regulate and monitor everything that you do. He will show you the kind of food to eat. He will show you the kind of dress to wear. He will show you the kind of friends to have. He will show you the posts you have to post on social media. He will regulate everything. In the beginning, you might think he loves you and he's showing care, but it's not like that. He's a very possessive man. If you marry such a person, you will not have a breathing space. He will cut you from so many things that you enjoy and like doing. Never marry such a man. Marry somebody who will make you feel free and be able to express yourself in life. 3. Never marry a man who is a casanova, a man who flirts a lot. He will flirt with every lady he sees around. If you see traces of flirt in his life, never marry him, because if you marry such a man, you will never be happy in your life. When he is done with you, he will always be jumping from one woman to another, and he will never make your life happy. Never marry a man who is a casanova. A casanova will always be jumping from one woman to another. If you see traces like that, don't go ahead and marry him. Especially when you go outing with him, any lady who passes around, if he's always looking at that person and making some comments, you better watch out. And also, whilst you are in a relationship with him, you realize that he is always cheating on you with other women, and you go ahead and marry him, you will regret it. Never marry a man who is a casanova. 4. Never marry a man who is mommy's boy. What do I mean by that? Every decision, he will go and consult his mother before you make your final decision. It's good to love your mother, yes, but to certain limits. Never marry a man who always consults and asks his mommy for ideas, for decisions, and every other thing. If you marry such a man, every time you have to draw a plan or decide on something, he will tell you that he is going to ask the mother's opinion or view on that issue before you come into a final conclusion. So, when you see traces of mommy's boy in his life, I will encourage you never to marry such a person. Marry a man who can stand on his own and make his own decisions. Marry such a person. 5. Never marry a man who still adores his ex. How will you know? Anytime you are having a conversation with him, he will bring his ex inside. Anytime his heart and his mind is always on his ex. Talking about his ex, how they broke up, how the relationship started, how she treated him, how. Always talking about his ex. You should know that this man hasn't gotten over her. He still adores her. And if you marry him, he will eventually go and follow her. So don't marry a man who still adores his ex. If you see such traces, immediately leave the he is not going to involve you in any decision making in his life or in the family, because he thinks he knows everything. He thinks he knows more than you, and he thinks you have nothing good to offer. So if you see traces of that in your courtship, that always when you bring your views and opinion or ideas on something, he will just tell you, oh, what you are saying is not right. Oh, what you are saying is not the best. Oh, it's not like that. He will not really sit down and even think about what you are saying and appreciate your thoughts. But if he always rubbish what you bring on board, and he thinks that whatever thing you are saying is not the best, and that he is the only one who can bring good decisions on board, then you are going to suffer if you marry such a person. So never marry a man who thinks he knows it all. Never marry a man who thinks he knows more than you. Never marry a man who does not appreciate your views and opinions on issues. 7. Never marry a stingy man. If you marry a man who is very stingy, you are really going to suffer. He has enough, but he will pretend he doesn't have. He has enough, but he will not be willing to share with you. He has enough, but he is not ready to let it go. If you marry such a man, you are really going to suffer. Your children are really going to suffer. You are going to be miserable, because there are certain things that he should be capable of doing it for you. But because he's so stingy and he doesn't want to share and release things, he will not do it for you. Never marry a man who is so stingy. If you do that, you and your children are really going to suffer, because he will not give you the necessary things that you need in life. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with all your loved ones, and also comment, because I would love to hear from you. Till then,